Yo, Nez Nation, good to see you. How are you? It's me, Professor Nez, your favorite social media professor in the land. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 crucial interview mistakes that you need to avoid in order to land that dream gig. Things that people maybe don't think about. And I see a lot of this when I do, consulting. I'm a career coach and a LinkedIn consultant. I see people make this mistake time and time again, and I don't want you to make that same mistake. But first, if you're interested in learning how to discover critical thinking skills, imagination, creativity, digital storytelling, the whole 9 yards, and how to share that with the world, you gotta click subscribe. You gotta click subscribe, Nez Nation. I mean, why wouldn't you? So here, let's get right into it. I understand that most people feel like they need to really give more. It's all about more. Well, exactly the opposite is true. Less is more. You need to do as little talking as possible when you're in an interview. And the first big mistake, you're going to get this question in the interview. The first big mistake I see is when people, recruiters want to know how you handle pressure. Recruiters want to know how you recover from mistakes, how fast and able you are to kind of, separate your emotions and just look at a problem objectively and solve it. So, you're going to get this question in the interview. So tell me about a time that you failed and what you did to recover. You're going to get that question. And I see this time and time again, Nez Nation. You cannot answer this question with, I've never failed. I don't think I've ever done anything wrong. Because you think that this is a trick question. A lot of people think this is a trick question. It's not a trick question. These are really smart people who are interviewing you, okay? They understand that things go awry all the time. Every single successful person has had multitudes of failures prior to getting to where they were. So they understand that this is a real part of life. This is a real part of having a professional career and evolution. So don't say I've never done anything wrong or I've never failed, okay? And don't try to kind of fake this bravado and think that it's actually fooling anybody. It's not fooling anybody, Nez Nation. I want to see you succeed. So be very specific, be very authentic, be very honest. Talk really, to the point and directly about an instance where you experience some failure on the job, and then just really be authentic and talk about how you got out of it. That's it. Mistake number 2 that people I see all the time make in an interview. You want to do your best. You want to make the, interviewer, interviewee, or what have you, or the committee feel that you're somebody who can, let it all hang out, and you're somebody who's cool and unique and different. But this dude right here starts saying some real inappropriate stuff, okay? You got to understand, you're being judged on every facet of who you are, not just your experience, not just your resume. They're trying to pick up on who you are as an individual, who you are as a human being. Don't ever forget this, Nez Nation. Nobody hires a resume. Nobody hires a piece of paper. They hire a human being. So who are you? If you're using inappropriate language, this is the second huge mistake. It just sends the wrong message, okay? You don't want to act familiar before they even get to know you. And this can be sort of a compensation for nerves. I see a lot of candidates do this, but it just gets you into bad boogie trouble, okay? Be on your most professional, look them in the eye, talk with a elevated language, hopefully a high command, type of vocabulary where you're communicating yourself. This is your most valuable weapon, y'all. This is your most valuable weapon. The pen is truly mightier than the sword. The same goes, I would rephrase that. Okay, your mouth is more valuable than the pen or the sword. Because on paper, it's just a 2-dimensional context. When you're there in person, this is where they really get to the nitty-gritty of who you are. They get to the core of the core. Who is this individual? Is this individual going to fit with my program? Are they somebody who's going to acclimate well to the system that's already in place? Are they going to solve my problem? So do not use inappropriate language. Okay, if you don't want your grandma to hear it, don't say it. Think of that like golden rule. Think of language, use language that you think your grandma would approve of. Unless your grandma's like, some F-bomb dropping, radical grandma. Third mistake I see a lot of people make in the interview is they act like they're better than everybody else. Okay, the ego comes out, the narcissism comes out. They think that their stuff just don't stink. They think that they've just got it all nailed down. and they act like, you know, their bravado, their ego starts to cash checks that their mouth can't really back up, or their skill sets can't back up. You don't need to act like this. This is also, I think, a proclivity that most people feel. I need to act, you know, fake it till you make it. I need to. Now, that's a bunch of BS, first of all. You be authentically you. You don't have to try so hard. Okay, going back to that, you don't have to try so hard. Don't come in with this attitude that I'm better than everybody else, that all these other candidates don't have the kind of skills and you need to hire. Don't act like you already got the gig. You know, there was a podcast recently where I was listening to, and multimillionaire CEO of this manufacturing company in Asia. And it was really interesting. He said, you know, the interviewer asked him, what is your criteria for hiring people? And I'll never forget this. He said, well, I don't look at their LinkedIn profile. I don't even look at their resume. He said, I hire on one thing and one thing only, and that's their attitude. If they have the right attitude, then they're trainable, they're coachable, and they're probably going to fit in with the team I already have in place, and they're willing to evolve and adapt. Humility is your ultimate currency in this regard. Okay, so just to review, number one, the 3 mistakes you want to avoid in an interview. These are crucial. Number one, don't say you've never done anything wrong. It's not believable. Nobody's going to give you credibility, and it's going to hurt your integrity and definitely hurt your chances. Admit that you've made mistakes. Admit that you failed, but don't focus on the failure. Focus on how you resolved it. Okay, number two, don't use inappropriate language in an interview. Conduct yourself with the ultimate sense of professionality. Use vocabulary, language, diction that's appropriate to the context that you're interviewing for. And number three, have a little humility. Be humble. Don't act like you're better than everybody else. Don't act like there's no other candidate on the planet. There's nothing wrong with confidence, but you don't have to destroy and defame other people to show that you're confident. You just be you authentically, and you communicate clearly, look them in the eye, answer the questions in a proper fashion. Attitude is everything. Make yourself seem like you're open to learning, you're open to collaboration, you're a team player, all the good little ditties, okay? And that's going to really help you in the interview, okay? So, thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate you guys watching. Again, make sure you subscribe, hit that little round icon, and hit the, watch these videos. These videos are really, really good. And I'll see you guys next time. And by the way, leave some comments. Let me know, what are some interview mistakes that you've made? What are some common, resources that you've used? Or what have you done to enhance your chances in the interview? Leave it in the comments below. I want to hear from you. And don't forget, watch some of these videos. Hit that round icon with my mugshot. And subscribe to this channel if you want to discover who you are and ways in which you can communicate that better to the world. You don't want to go anywhere else, because Professor Nez brings it every single week. Love y'all. Have a good one.